And we wish Ian Collins all the very best. There he was talking with Damien Barrett. Well, Royalty has joined us in the studio here on the Sunday Footy Show.
Thank you,
Jonathan
Simon.
Brown's made his way in. Big fella.
Hello, mate.
Well?
Going well, mate. Head's looking a bit rough, but it's probably an improvement.
Yeah. Well, let's go from one rough head to another.
That's
Billy.
Right.
Yeah, Jared. Rough head. Now, Brown Dog, welcome along, mate. Of course, they went down last night by 36 points in the end, but started very well. You're up and about, you blokes, and Carlton were very flat.
Yeah, they were. Vossi emphasised spirit before the game and just to play with a bit of freedom, and the guys really, we did that. Wasted a lot of opportunities, obviously, in the first half. But look, to be honest, we really dominated the first half, and to go in a goal down at half-time just wasn't justified. And we not only missed a lot of goals, a lot of shots on goal, but some of our transition through the middle of the ground, we over-handballed a bit. And you always know in games, you have your opportunities of momentum, and if you don't use it, you're going to get hurt. And then obviously Carlton got the momentum in the third quarter, and they kicked straight, and the game was over by three-quarter time. So very disappointing for the way we started.
17 minutes they took to score, Carlton, and then they went bang, bang, by the way, Brownie. Nath Brown?
You've got a lot of young players in your team. Is it a matter of that these young players play really well for two and a half quarters, and then they're just too young to sustain it against seasoned players, and they just drop off, and then late you get scored against, but over time, if they can get that fitness base into them, they're going to be very good players? Yeah,
no doubt. It's the fitness base, and it's also the mental resilience to, I suppose, be able to play those four quarters, get into that habit of being able to not switch off. But like I said, when you have a lot of momentum, you have to use that in the AFL these days. You know that eventually, at some stage, the other side's going to get momentum, and they just took their chances. So look, we kicked 10 goals, 17, and probably put 5 out of bounds on the full from only 40 entries. It was just really disappointing. And look, I suppose, from broad picture, we want to be beating sides around us to be improving for next year. Last week Richmond, this week Carlton, their sides around us on the ladder, and it's disappointing not to be able to get over those. But we are building, and hopefully we'll finish well.
Slightly. Josh Green kicked the goal there, as Brownie said, 7 points at half-time. A lot of wasted opportunities. Rowan Buick was a beauty last night. He's going along nicely.
He was. He's got. He runs really hard. He does bob up in the forward line, and he got plenty of shots on goal.
He did.
I think he had about 9 shots on goal. So that was obviously. Normally he's a pretty good set shot. So it was just one of those games, and obviously the whole side had the yips, including myself, by the end of the game.
Yes.
So it was. Look, there's some good stuff. You mentioned Josh Green before. He was lively there. Geordie Lyle, who's come from Hawthorn.
Good.
He had 19 touches and provided a really good target there, playing a little bit in the ruck. Zorko's been fantastic. He's a mature age player. They've been able to get Daniel Merritt down back, so hopefully Rog can get back into form. Playing down back again, get him ready for next year. Hopefully get big Matty Maguire back next week. Ryan Harwood's been a real find as a small defender. So, look, there's a lot of upside there. We're missing some key experienced players, which we can't afford to miss. Be missing, mate, like McGrath, Staker, Leuenberger, just to name a couple. Maguire.
This is the third quarter where Carlton blew the game apart. They kicked 7 goals, 5 here, and some really good goals. Jared Waite took a hanger there. You saw that before, and they were on fire. 1 goal here, game apart. Croft, this is where they won it.
Yeah, no, it's a good effort from the Blues because they certainly are undermanned, and they fought it out. And to start the match, as Jono did say, that they were a bit flat, but to find a way to get themselves into the match, Matty Lloyd, that's a good effort, really, when you look at it.
Yeah, I heard your coach Michael Voss during the week, Brownie, say that they're the best team you've played because of the way they played, I think, in round 2. How do you assess the competition so far and the best side you've played?
I thought Hawthorn were the best side. I didn't play against Carlton in round 2, but they're a different side than what they are now. They've got so many injuries that it's been hard for them to cover that. But probably out of the sides I played, I think Hawthorn, especially Buddy Franklin, had come back, and Hodgie got subbed off last week in the last quarter, which might have hurt him a little bit. But they've obviously got bigger picture. So, you know, Hawthorn looked pretty good. Obviously, Collingwood had a good win last night. You just wonder how Collingwood can cover those long-term injuries, whether that's going to hurt them in September. So, for mine, probably Hawthorn at the moment.
Now, you got the carpet burn there.
Yeah.
Your head went into the ground last night. It's like the ad, Eyes on the Road, Rhonda. But you got it there last night. You took a mark, your head went into the ground, and the umpire sent you off because of the blood rule, and you didn't want to go off, Brown Dog.
Well, it's not blood rule. And I didn't realise there's a rule that you get sent off for grass burn. So now the rule was changed a couple of years ago where it has to be running blood.
Right.
And I wiped the blood off, and clearly, as you can see, it's just carpet burn. And the surface is a little bit sandy there, but I'm giving a few people some wax here.
Yeah.
But
You weren't happy.
But I said to the umpire, I've got no blood on me. So I just had to go to the bench and then turn around and come back on. The hardest part was the doctor putting zinc cream all over my head, trying to wipe that out of the grass burn after the game in the showers. So a little bit disappointing, but the game was over, and Joshy Green owes me a beer in the off-season for getting a cheapie directly in front.
He did indeed. And you got benched a couple of times last night.
What are you doing, Bill?
It's called rotation, Bill.
Bill, he's sitting next to me. Why are you asking questions like
Well,
that?
he got dragged a couple of times last night, Brown.
I'll get smacked here in a minute.
Part of the rotation policy. So Bert said to me before the game, I'm going to try and get you off every quarter.
Jeez.
And then I got an extra one for the grass burn, and then knee's been a little bit crook. So the game was over 20-minute mark, so just get off your old bugger, and you're no help to us anymore. So
Time for one more, Scoop.
No, let's go to the votes, Bill.
Brownie didn't get in him.
Ripper.
Actually, as Simon said, don't put him
I
in.
can't believe that.
Bryce Gibbs was very good. He's Scotland, Andrew Kratzo, all the midfielders, they were very, very good last night. A good win in the end because they have had some injuries there. There's the 3 weeks ahead. Carlton take on Essendon, Gold Coast, St Kilda. Brisbane got Adelaide, which they could win up there at the Gabba. Port Adelaide could win that one and could win the Doggies. Could finish off nicely, Brown Dog.
Well, we're going to finish strong. I think we've made ground this year as a club. We've had 7 wins. As I say, we'd like to beat sides around us on the ladder, but we had our big win against West Coast earlier in the year when they were on top of the ladder. But we've got to finish strong to help build our momentum into next season. We can't finish with a whimper. I think that hurts us going into next year after we've made some positive ground.
And you're bringing out a book, which is we're looking forward
not your
to.
gag.
The 50 Shades of Brown. So when can we see that?
Well, actually,
He's only gag.
he's
gone with that.
Have you read it?
Well, actually, Kyle's is, I don't know about 50 Shades of Grey, but my wife Kylie's been reading something else, which is bordering on pornography, dressed up as a novel, Billy. So I'm not sure.
Nothing wrong with that.
These girls are into all these bloody novels about it, and she read a page to me the other night. It was disgraceful. So I just couldn't hear the filth that was coming out of her mouth.
Any luck, John?
Hey, how'd you know?
But still no luck, mate. She's getting she's just getting her kicks reading books, mate. So I can't get in within a bull's roar of her at the moment. She's 25 weeks pregnant and going beautifully.
And you no
mate.
chance tonight going home looking like
No
that.
chance, mate. Absolutely no chance. But how's your pub going, mate?
No, very
we've
good.
got a Sunday special day. Free Palmer and Potter
No,
Valley.
there's not. No.
Get down there, everyone get down there. Free Palmer and Potter and Billy.
No. Last time you said that, all the scabs come in for a free pot and Palmer.
Including yourself.
Yeah, the Valley Inn too, and they're only about $11, so get down there and get one.
Best part of this, we're actually going to call an end to this on a high note, which I feel a lot better. Now I do. Jonathan Brown, thank you for coming in. Good
You
to
get
see
the
you.
prizes?
Thanks, boys.
He gets all the prizes too, of
Yeah,
course.
my word.
Great Christmas present.
You don't want to read those out again, do you?
No, man, what a fuss might want to see him. It's too up.
Probably need that this week, but they're handy for the Christmas presents. Handball tools.
We'll be back. Before we offend all our sponsors, we'll be back in a moment.